Good evening, gentlemen. It's Tuesday evening. It's the 25th of April. My internet is still lousy, but I'm still here and I'm waiting for my new package coming soon. And by the way, if you're watching this on replay, then hello, good evening, and welcome. Okay? Okay, so someone else said that. Somebody more famous than me, but he's dead now anyway, so we can get away with it. Okay, Martin Ryder is here. Good evening, Martin. Nice to hear from you. Ian Bowden is here. Good evening, Ian. Hope all's well, mate. Chaz Brown, Bilbao Kelso. Okay, you're late. Oh, 2 minutes. That's not late. That 2 minutes isn't late. That's allowed. I bet Charlie's going to be more than 2 minutes late for this bloody coronation. London Cab, Thailand. Good evening. David Martin, Simon Bridges, Richard O. Richard O, not long now for the super duper fibre broadband ad. A week's time, hopefully in a week from now, I will be talking to you from a very, very clear, hoping it all works out. We'll see. We'll see. Not expecting miracles. Harry Holt, nice to hear from you, mate. Yeah, he's back. Harry Holt is back. Okay. He's back from outer space. Okay. I just walked in to find him here with that sad look upon his face. Chaz Brown, it's 9 p.m. your new slot now instead of 10. Through the week, I think it will be because I've got a little bit of work going on. It involves me getting up early in the morning, which means that late in the evening, I'm very, very tired. So I think I can get away with 9 o'clock. It wouldn't benefit anyone if I was to come on here at 10 o'clock feeling sleepy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's see. Sean, you've got you on my big telly. You're even more of a handsome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So what's the internet like now? Is it still rubbish? I've got my new internet coming next week anyway. I'm just hoping and praying that it all goes well. Ian Bowden, Barbara's watching tonight, so let's keep it rude. She loves it rude. Say hi, Ed. Okay, hello, Barbara. That is Barbara's Ian Bowden's delightful missus. And I met them both in Thailand, and great to meet you. And I hope you're having a lovely evening. And anyway, nice to hear from you both. Bottle Baby, evening Eddie, and Bottle Baby is here. Evening Ed. Paul Hoskin. I keep asking the bar girls for a bit of Ed. Nice and smutty. Keep it smutty. Hard Tulip. Hi, Eddie Van Halen. Okay. It's Damon. Even my love. Hope all's well. Have a great stream. Regards, Damon. Okay, nice to hear from you, Damon. It's really, really nice to hear from you. In case anyone didn't catch you, I'm doing this at 9 o'clock, so I've got a bit of work on right now. Early morning. And it means that I can't stay awake too late at night, otherwise I'll fall asleep. Bottle Baby, try increasing the resolution. I think it's a lost cause, that, to be honest with you. Listen, a big thanks to everyone who stuck with me over the weeks. I've got to be honest with you. Honest with you. I mean, about 5 weeks. Well, it will be about 5 weeks next week by the time the fibre internet man's coming. When I made that phone call and I agreed to get, new fibre and this, a new system for the internet, when he said, okay, we can install it in about 5 weeks time. And okay, I must admit, with hindsight, I may well have said to him, 5 weeks time, no, give it a miss. I'll try someone else because it's been a very, very long month, 5 weeks, whatever. But a big thanks to all you guys who showed real patience and have stuck with this poor internet. I mean, I feel like next week, if that internet really, really does live up to expectation, then I can start really, really doing things with this channel. This channel, when I started the Steady Eddie live channel, actually started as something else. But when I started doing these live streams about a year ago on this channel, I had ideas to, bring some music videos on, but I couldn't upload it. So the internet has been pretty poor all along. But if the internet that's coming, if it really, really does live up to expectations, I really, really believe I can make something out of this channel anyway. So let's get it on. Let's get it on, baby. Okay. Timber Guy, Eddie, if King Charles knights you, do we have to call you Sir Eddie? No. Definitely not. King Charles knights me. What the hell's he going to knight me for? I mean, I like King Charles. I like King Charles. Maybe that's the reason that he should knight me, because not a lot of other people do. No, I'm being. Let's think positive about King. Hey, he's going to get coronated in a couple of weeks' time. In a couple of weeks' time, his coronation. It'll be the first coronation of a royal in 70 years, since the Queen was put on the throne there 70 years ago. Absolutely amazing to have that in your lifetime. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I can't understand why it's taken place on a Saturday, because I would have thought they would have called for a public bank holiday through the week. Somehow, if you put it on a Wednesday, then it makes it more important, because everyone is told to stay at home because the king is getting coronated. Whereas if you put it on a Saturday, it's like, well, it's on a Saturday, people are at home anyway. I think we got a bank holiday on the Monday, haven't we, or something? But it just seems a strange day to have it. But I like King Charles. He's cool, and he's waited a long, long time to become king. So good luck to him. Big Daddy rum steak, okay. Neil Fleet, evening had cold and wet in Waversley tonight. Oh God, it's bloody cold here. I live in southern England. It's supposed to be warmer and sunnier than up north. It's bloody freezing. End of April. I mean, winter. How long does winter go on for? Oh Jesus Christ. Karen Farang from the jungle. Nice to hear from you, mate. Hard Shield lights 9, whatever that means. Let's see. Hard Shield start. Okay. Oh, no, 9 start. He likes 9 p.m. Okay. Okay, we've got someone who likes 9 p.m. Nice to hear from you, mate. Gareth, I believe it is, yeah. Harry Holt, nice. Get some work and go save funds again for the next potential trip. Well, you've got to be realistic. You've got to keep it in the dust. The cost of living. Do you know something? A 200-gram jar of Nescafe out of the co-op is £9.50. If you want Kenco, it's even more bloody expensive. I mean, it's just shy of a tenner for a 200-gram jar of coffee. I mean, God Almighty, it's oh my God, times are hard. Times are hard. Let's see. Hard Shield. It looks like a black and white movie ad. Well, that's good. Maybe I should. If it's a black and white movie, maybe I should do my James Cagney impersonation. Top of the world, Ma. Top of the world, Ma. Maybe that's my James Cagney impersonation. Okay. Yeah, let's see. A bit crap, really. Bottle baby. Okay. Harry Holt, always here. That's here to support you, mate. Okay, brilliant. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, I'll put this on the screen. I won't emphasize it too much because we don't really like talk about what. Hey, Bob, with Sudan kicking off, we'll be inundated by thousands. Well, what do you think? And I know my thoughts are with them. I hope everyone's safe. I hope well, it's a bit of a daft thing to say. My thoughts are with them. That's all I can say. I don't want them living next door to me, but we thoughts are with them. No, that's that. It's a time of war. We have to have empathy for people who were involved in it. Yeah, fairly dreadful. What's this? She has a hairy muff. I deal with the hairy stuff. I'm not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk. We talk about all of that kind of stuff. I don't really pay attention to it anyway. It means nothing to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. Tanda is here. Nice to hear from you, Tanda. Nice that you can make it about 9 o'clock now anyway. Hi, Eddie. Hope all is okay. Yeah, all's okay. I've been off the booze for more than 3 weeks now. More than 3 weeks. I mean, I said, before when I was off for a week, that was the longest time I've been off the booze since Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister. But more than 3 weeks. That's probably the longest since Harold Wilson was Prime Minister. Jesus Christ, I'm doing well. I'm actually drinking a pink Fanta diet. And it's very tasty, very, very nice. Nice to hear from you, Sandra. Richie, though, Richard, oh, it's worth getting the Oakland app on your devices Ed, so you can see what speed you're getting. Okay. Ian Bowden, are you going to a street party on the coronation? Ian Bowden, are you going to a street party on the coronation? No, no. I mean, where I live, I mean, it's not really a community type of place. It's not really. You know, I live on a main road, and it's you know, in a rural area, and it's not really the type of place. I mean, it was all street, you know, children and families. I wouldn't go there anyway. I mean, yeah, you know, I'm a bit old for jelly and custard and funny hats. Yeah, you know, not for me really. I won't really be celebrating it in that way. I mean, in communities where there's families and all of that, you know, good for them. But I won't be taking part in any of that. I'll probably just be watching on the TV or on YouTube or whatever it's on. And that's a good. I mean, the good thing about, you know, about the virtual world now, YouTube. I mean, I was watching a channel the other day about this. I can name his name's Action Kid, and he's a young Oriental chappy, American fella, and he just the most wonderful walkabout videos of New York and Boston and you know, Miami and all that. He's got a great channel. So, and I was watching on the big screen one of his videos of New York in the snow. And it's one of those things that make you realize what a wonderful thing YouTube is. I mean, you can experience New York in the snow without having to be there. You know what I mean? I mean, you can live in a virtual world. There's a lot to be said about the modern age. So, as you know, are you going to? No, I won't be going to any street parties. I'll probably, you know, I'll probably just have a roast dinner at home, celebrate it that way. And I haven't said that right now at this very moment in time. Guess what I've got in the oven? I've got a roast chicken dinner in the oven. So that's coming up about 10:30 anyway. So I'll be finished this game about 10:30 for my roast dinner. Sean Harris, good evening, Ed. Sean Harris, good evening, Ed. Yeah, I'll put that on the screen. Excuse me. Sean Harris, good evening, Ed. Who are your top 3 Bond girls? Well, I can name a couple. It weren't necessarily leading Bond girls, but the very, very first Bond girl in a Roger Moore Bond movie was actually Madeline Smith, who was that lovely woman, and she played a small part early on in the movie. Also, Caroline Munro was the helicopter pilot. So that would in The Spy Who Loved Me, that would be number 2. And as for the third one, well, I rather like Jill St. John and Diamonds Are Forever. Also, there's too many to mention. You know, I mean, I'd put them up in my home any day. In fact, you can all come and stay in my bedroom. Absolutely. Tamza had the heating. Tamza had the heating on. Yeah, put that on the screen. Tamza had the heating on for 6 months now. Yeah, it doesn't seem fair. We got 4 seasons in a year. So how is it that winter seems to go on for twice as long as the others, or even more than that? I mean, there's 12 months in a year. If winter lasts 6 months, then you got 2 months for each of the other seasons. It doesn't seem fair, really, does it? 6, oh, bloody awful. Sean Young said that surely Lords would be more. Yeah, I'll put that on the screen. No, I'm not going to do Sir Eddie. Sir Eddie, surely Lords will be more appropriate. Lord Eddie. Yeah, Lord Eddie. Lord Eddie, yeah. That'd be quite nice, that Lord Eddie. But to be honest with you, I actually prefer being called Mr. Ed. You know, not Sir Ed or Lord Ed, but Mr. Ed. You know, like the horse, Mr. Ed. I have, of course, been compared to Mr. Ed before, but, you know, for various reasons, but we won't go into that anyway. Anyway, let's see, Tanda. Hi, Rantalian. Hello, okay. Ian Bowden. I am not a royalist, but I hope we see another coronation before we die. As Charlie Boy is much older than us. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Charlie's much older. How old is he? Is he about 74 now? I reckon he's 74. He might even be 75 now. But don't forget, his dad, his mum and dad lived into the middle to late 90s. So you could easily get another 20 years or more out of Charlie. I think Charlie will probably outlive most of. I mean, these well-bred people, you know, tend to live longer than us mere mortals, don't they? I'd be amazed if I ever live to see another coronation. I think Charlie's here to stay. I think he's going to be on the throne for at least 20 years. He'll probably outlive me anyway. Lewis Bellingham, being a great day and live in St. Anne's. Okay, good for you. Then anyway, good that was Les Dawson's favourite place, wasn't it? In town like that. Good evening, Ed. I'm a celebrity or steady Eddie. It's a no-brainer. But yeah. Okay, well, I'm not so sure what that means. Michael Gireas, nice to hear from you, mate. Hard Sheila, Lola, I love White. It's a good movie, that good movie. I prefer Humphrey Bogart was my favourite of the old superstars. Chaz Brown, times are hard when you need a mortgage for a tub of layer pack, face turquoise, covering eyes. Okay, fair enough. Peter Blue, what's up with your internet? The picture not good, mate. Well, what it is? My internet's been crap for the last month, but I'm getting the long-awaited fibre. It's coming next week, and hopefully this time next week I'll be speaking to you in clarity, and I'm doing all kinds of things with this channel anyway. I'm just waiting on the internet to arrive. Neil Fleet. Neil Fleet, sad about Harry Belafonte passing away at the age of 96. Okay. Now, he was an old, he was a musical star or a jazz star or whatever, wasn't he? Harry Belafonte. And he was probably very instrumental in that sort of stuff. It was a bit before my time, you know, I'm afraid. But you say Neil, it's sad and passing away at 96. I mean, this won't be popular with everyone, but if someone told me that I was going to be living until I was 96, I'd be over the bloody moon. I mean, I'll be relieved if I get to 66 after the way that I've drank over the years, and cholesterol foods and all this kind of stuff. 96 is a bloody good age, mate. So I know you shouldn't really see it that way, but personally, the man's probably had a great career and he's lived to 96. I mean, what more can you want? I wouldn't mind living till I was 96. I'm sure there's probably the king won't outlive me. She had to hear him off. I do like to hear his stuff. I'd like to hear what other people think of Diane Abbott. Well, I wouldn't. To be honest, I'm a bloody bored about Diane Abbott. I mean, what's she all about? Who cares? I mean, there's no such thing as a politician who is indispensable. They can all be replaced, every last bloody one of them. So who cares? Hard Shield Threads was good. Might get you back on it. Okay. Tandra, that's great, Eddie. Well done. Okay, thank you, Tandra. Thank you, sir. Mister, I'm not connected. I'm not connected. So, somebody said with my internet, it looks like I'm beaming from Mars. I kind of like that. Mothership, can you read me? Rantellian, okay. Michael Gineas, good on you, Eddie. Doing really well, mate. All right, thanks, mate. Thank you. Tandra, no streets have a party here. I mean, they probably will have street parties in certain family areas and all of that. I mean, but street parties tend to be about jelly and custard and sausage rolls and all that kind of stuff. Not for me. Definitely not. David Asmay, look alike. Evening, Eddie and everyone. Okay, okay. Nice to hear from you, mate. Hard Tulip. I watch Action Kid. He's he sounds like he's a kid. He's not a kid. He's a young man, but he's got a terrific channel, and he does walk. If ever you want to know what it's like to walk around New York and the certain areas and Miami and Florida and Boston and all that, I mean, watching is he's very very watchable, very very watchable. Yes, 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 yes. Martin Ryder. I'm just going to grab myself a little lemonade. Okay, Martin Ryder. I went to Sudan 20 years ago. No beer. It was shite. No, that's what I heard. No, I went to neighboring Ethiopia, and that's what. And you do meet some Sudanese people there. You also meet some Somalians there. But Sudan, I did hear when I encountered some travelers there. I encountered quite a few travelers in Ethiopia, and they did say that Sudan was quite a good. They love Sudan, but I do recall them saying that there's no bear there. Well, I mean that might be of interest to me now, but because I don't, I could probably survive without bear now. But I did hear it was very. I remember when in Ethiopia, I got chatting to a bunch of lads who were cycling through Africa, and they went through Sudan, and they were going through Ethiopia, and they said they weren't keen on Ethiopia because people threw things at them when they were cycling, but they raved about Sudan. They absolutely loved it. They absolutely loved it. But I did hear that there was no bear there. Well, my thoughts are with them. I mean, Jesus, I mean these people suffer so much hardship. And then on top of that, then the war kicks off. Some people have a bad hand at cards. You know what I mean? They really, really do. Let's see. Capo 17. Good evening. Bottle baby, bottle baby, bottle baby. Let's see. Bottle baby. Remember the days of eating pork pies live while streaming? I think that didn't that start off on the other channel when it was during the lockdown. Pork pie. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had a pork pie for a long time. I think a pork pie is too unhealthy for me now. I like pork pies, but I think they're so full of calories and all the other stuff is not good for you. I mean, I've got a roast chicken dinner in the oven now. I've got the chicken and the roasted potatoes cooking slowly in the oven right now. So I do like a nice roast dinner. I'm going to have some nice veg with that and gravy and maybe throw a few mushrooms in there as well. Late night meal before I crash out. Pork pies. I love pork pies, but I've no plans to return to pork pies. A little bit too unhealthy for me. I'm a changed man. I'm clean living now. I'm really, really clean living now. Healthy eating and everything. Hard Tulip Monroe was evil. Are you talking about Madeline by any chance? Sean Harris. Not sure they're allowed to talk about it on YouTube, but are we heading to? I told you how. It's. I'm not really sure about the rules, but I think we don't really know the facts really about whether we are heading to WW3. We don't really know, but it's probably stir up something we don't want stirred or not. Let's all hope for the best, really. Martin Ryder, Martin Ryder. Let's see now. Martin Ryder, Pussy Galore, and Doctor Goodhead. Oh, I can't remember Doctor Goodhead, but Pussy Galore. that was Honor Blackwood. She was a lovely woman, lovely woman. I think one of my favorites was Zania Onatop. Was she played by Famke Janssen? Oh, that was a lovely, lovely woman, gorgeous woman. Ian Bowden, Seville is 38 Celsius this week. I want some of that. Yeah, I mean, these countries are doing, Spain, Benidorm's doing. Have you watched that, any programs on Benidorm? They're having some great temperatures right now. Yeah, we need a bit of that. Tulip, my average heat bill is £40 a week. Sounds about right. I think you got off lightly, mate. Mister, the world population rumored to be less than 1 billion people. Well, the last I heard, it's 8 billion. I mean, this is the problem that the world is facing. There's so many, births taking place in countries where they can't afford to look after them. About 50 years ago, the world's population was 4 billion. Now it's 8 billion. It's doubled in the last 50 years, and it'll probably double again. These countries need to stop popping out the kids, because they're having families in third world countries that can't afford to look after the children, and the next thing you know, they're bloody heading over here in dinghies. That's the biggest threat to the world. There's going to be too many people who can't look after themselves. Brantalian, at least the days are getting nice and long now. I actually prefer the dark nights. I think in Britain we do winters rather better than we do summers. Paul Hoskin. Let me see. Paul Hoskin. It's quite nice there. Paul Hoskin, you never forget your first massage in Thailand. I've forgotten my first one because I've had so bloody many of them. I'm sure you have as well. 80, sun came out today, got sunburned. Okay. Let's see, where are we? Chaz Brown, no, we couldn't call you Mr. Ed. Damon, yeah, it's Damon here. Damon, Ed booked my flight leaving for Thailand in 4 weeks' time. First time this year. Can't believe how fast time goes past as you get older. Yeah, okay, absolutely. Well, I'm going to be bloody. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Am I really 60 years old? And then I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm going to be 61 pretty soon. God Almighty! You only got one life. You got to live it to the max. So yeah, good luck for you. Good luck to you anyway, Damon. Good for you. Thailand in 4 weeks' time. So that will be late May. So yeah, nice. Have fun, mate. Have fun. Let's see. Sean Young. I'll be watching the coronation in Saigon. Cheap ale and food load. I'll put that on the screen. Sean Young. I'll be watching the coronation in Saigon. Cheap ale and food. That's interesting. That's it. I've never even thought of that. How will the coronation? I mean, will they be really interested in? I mean, I wonder in Saigon. I wonder, will you actually get the royal coronation of Britain, of Great Britain, being shown on the TV sets in some of the bars? Would the Vietnamese take an interest in that? I wonder. I don't know. Really. Be interested in that. That would be interesting to know. Let's see. Sean Harris, I think counting. Let me see. Let me see now. Let me see now. Now you're talking. Sean Harris, I think Count Eddie would sound cool. Having been to Romania or Transylvania, I went. Count Eddie. Now that's good. Who wouldn't want to be a count? I would like to be a count. And live in a dark castle in Transylvania. To hell with say this or Lord that or whatever. Count Eddie. No, that would be good. And if I could handpick my ladies, I would pick Madeline Smith and Linda Hayden, and of course the queen of the vampires, Ingrid Pitt. Oh my God, I'd raise them all up from the dead. Oh my God, even if some of them are still alive, my God. Oh yeah, I like the sound of that. Absolutely. Count Eddie surrounded by hairy vampires. Oh, lovely stuff. Philip Melville, George, but okay. Michael Janaeus, Michael Janaeus, Michael Janaeus. Michael, Mariam Darbo, 1987, Best Bond Girl. Well, that must have been with Timothy Dalton. Because he wasn't he the guy who killed off the James Bonds? Because in the 1980s, funny enough, I was watching the other night. The other night, whatever happened to Lewis Collins. Now, he was an actor from Birkenhead originally, and he became famous in TV comedies, and he obviously had real star quality. But in the 1980s, he was then in The Professionals, this action series, and in the 1980s, he was tipped to go on to become a big star, and maybe even the next James Bond. But he ended up in a lot of sort of B movies, action movies, but he never actually made it to James Bond. And I think Cubby Broccoli, he actually stated that Lewis Collins was actually too aggressive. He wouldn't have chosen him. Strange stuff. But some people believe Lewis Collins was the best Bond that we never had. Whereas they chose Timothy Dalton, and Timothy Dalton sort of killed off the franchise for a while. I don't think he captured the public's imagination, did he? Just a thought anyway. Sean Harris, Diana Rigg or Faye Dunaway in their Sean Harris, okay. Diana Rigg or Faye Dunaway in their prime, tough choice. Well, Faye Dunaway is the classy actress, but I think she was kind of an acquired taste. I mean, not really, didn't really do for me. Diana Rigg was a lovely woman. When she was on the Avengers in her, leather catsuit, gorgeous woman. But you know what turned me off Diana Rigg? I seen her years later on an episode of Parkinson, and she was a very, very fine actress as well. I seen her years later on an episode of Parkinson where she was being interviewed, and I couldn't believe how vulgar she was. This gorgeous woman was actually vulgar. She was actually using language, and that was really, really quite vulgar. I thought that's really a bit of a turn off, really. So neither of those would be for me, I'm afraid. I'm fussy, aren't I? The guy who turns down Diana Rigg and Faye Dunaway. I mean, how fussy is that? Karen Ferrang from the Jungle. No way I'm getting to 96. Okay. Boxing 14. Let's discuss the topic of sleeping tonight. How do we get some? I'm surprised that I can always speak for myself personally, but I thought when I gave up the booze, I thought I'm gonna, have sleepless nights and gonna struggle. I don't struggle at all. I sleep like a bloody log. To be honest with you, waking up that's the difficult bit. So, but I know what you mean. When I was young, even beyond young, I always had a bit of a coffee addiction. And I used to drink coffee even late in the evening until I discovered booze. And coffee keeps you awake, and it's the worst thing you can do to drink coffee of an evening time. So now I just have coffee early on in the day, and then I don't have it again. But I suppose it depends what you eat and drink, really, doesn't it? I mean, so how do you get some? Well, I wouldn't take any of those sleeping tablets because you become dependent on them. So if anyone else got anything to say about the subject of sleeping, how do you get some sleep? It helps if you don't have noisy neighbours, of course. Martin Ryder says he'd rather shack a cabbage than die an habit. Okay, that sounds about right. Birdman, Ian and Eddie, hope you're okay. I don't get home from work till 9:30, so I'll do my best to join everyone to get on stream days. Okay, fair enough. Okay, thank you. Let's see now. Let's see. Ian Bam, we watched a little bit of the film 10 earlier, but didn't get to the horny bit of Bo Derrick's wonderful bouncing pups as we switched off to watch it. Jesus, you watch me instead of Bo Derek. That, I mean, that's saying something. She was a lovely woman, but she was another one. She scored a big hit in 10, didn't she? But I think her career went sort of downhill after that. Similar to Sharon Stone. I mean, years later, she scored a big hit in Basic Instinct, but she never really quite followed it up. But yeah, Bo Derek, oh, gorgeous woman. Oh, I wouldn't say no, definitely. What? I've never heard this before. Ah, Eddie. I looked up the name Steady Eddie in the Urban Dictionary. It means to get buggered. You lying bastard. What? I've never heard that in my life. Bugger off. Philip Moville, Eddie sure earning a 5G. I'm not actually sure. It's crap. That's what it is, basically. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, is the planet getting hotter, or is it all a lot of hot air? Oh, we talked a little bit about this last night, didn't we? We talked a little bit about this. I mean, most people seem to think that the theory of global warming and is a load of shite. Really, I'm sure there's something in it. You've got to protect the environment and all of that. It's just that some of these people who go about it are bloody annoying. They're protesting. Extinction Rebellion and all this kind of stuff. They're not very, very likable people. I mean, during the suffragette movement, in the early part of the 20th century, Pankhurst. I mean, they had a real cause. They chained themselves to railings, and one of them threw herself in front of a horse. I mean, they had a cause. They wanted the right for women to vote, and they were doing a very, very honourable thing. You can't blame them, really. But these bloody tossers around nowadays, I mean, jumping, with orange dust onto a snoot. I mean, it was trying to recreate the old advert. When you've been tangled. I mean, what the hell was he bloody doing? Johnny B. Hiya, how's the diet going? This is it. Now I've given up the booze, okay? I'm drinking diet lemonade, this sort of stuff. I can't say that the diet is performing miracles because I am actually eating quite hearty. But maybe that's my next step. You see, the thing is, I can go on diets now because I mean, if you're drinking booze and all this kind of stuff, that's not part of anyone's diet. But I haven't given up the booze. I feel that I could do a proper diet now. So maybe that'll be my next step anyway. Giving up the booze is, I mean, that's pretty big. That's no mean feat. It's not trivial, but that's a big step in the right direction. Nice to hear from you, Johnny, anyway. Let's see, okay? Let's see. Sean Harris, Camilla or Anne? Another tough choice. I think I'd rather have Diane Abbott or a cabbage, to be honest with you. Camilla or Anne? Oh, actually, Camilla's got a little bit of. No, she's got a little bit of charisma about her, really. I've never really heard Camilla speak much. But I actually think Camilla is a bit like, she's got a bit of charisma about her, like like a real presence about it. Whereas Princess Anne, ugh, excuse me, where's my book? Ugh, God almighty, no thank you. Yuck. Capo, I've been in hospital the last 3 weeks. Internet terrible. Oh, to be home for Saturday's dream. Okay. Well, speedy recovery to you anyway, Capo. David Heisenberg, lookalike. Diane Abbott is so stupid she cannot do simple maths and she needs to go back. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would suggest that she's probably a lot brighter. She's probably a lot more academic than what she's probably a lot more academic than what you might think. She's probably not. What's that line? What's that line from one of the Naked Gun movies? Doesn't Leslie Nielsen say to somebody, I don't look as dumb as I am, or something like that. Yeah, boxing 14. Let me just grab something a moment. Okay, back. Boxing 14. Ed, why did you decide to visit Ethiopia? Well, to be honest with you, that's actually the only African country I've ever been to. I've been to, South America quite a lot, and Asia and Europe, but I've never actually been to Africa. I picked that one because it was said to be the best value country, one of the best value countries in the world, and also quite safe. And I actually thought Ethiopia was very, very interesting. And you meet some characters there. You also meet a few unpleasant characters, opportunistic characters who try and con with the currency and all this kind of stuff. But it was well. I don't regret visiting there at all. It's very, very good, and also it's quite safe to walk around. They've got some lovely little ramshackle bars there, and some lovely local beers, Hakim Stout, Amber Beer, really, really good. And I'd say the most simplest thing I'd done, I took a walk through an Ethiopian village, where there was market stalls going on. Wow, I mean, it had the wow factor. I mean, to think society like that still exists in this day and age. It was really a mind-blowing experience. It was a great cultural experience, really, really was. So yeah, Ethiopia, well worth a look. I know things have gone a little bit backwards since then because they've started having conflicts and stuff. So I wish all of them the best, because it's. Oh well. Yeah, I hope people in Ethiopia or Sudan, I'll say, I would have considered visiting Sudan, because I had some good reviews about that. But now, obviously, there's too many problems there. Lisa Dale's Gambian Lover. Lisa Dale's Gambian Lover. Eddie, my mum looks like Diane Abbott. Really? Well, you don't look anything like Diane Abbott, because I've met you in a bar in Pattaya, and you don't look anything like Diane Abbott. So anyway, nice to hear from you anyway, mate. Nice to hear from you. Chain W, Muslim country, hence no alcohol. I do seem to be, I have heard that about Sudan, but I do seem to recall that Sudan is really, but I heard a glowing report from some of those guys who were cycling through there. They said it's a great, and the people were really friendly and all that. But Ethiopia's got plenty of alcohol, plenty of it, if you're interested. Sean Harris, the problem the wins is the best satire on the royal family. Really, I've never seen that one. Okay, that's a question. That's a question. Boxing 14. By the way, Ed, have you ever tried dating apps, online dating before? No, because I just don't trust what I'm going to get. I just don't do that. I don't do it. Ever tried dating apps online? No, I've never tried any of that. I mean, maybe. I mean, but I mean, at my stage in life, I mean, what am I going to say? I'm going to say that I look like bloody Brad Pitt. I mean, I can't lie or anything like that. And is the girl going to say that she looks like Sharon Stone when really she looks more like Rita Webb? I don't know. You just never know what you're going to get. Not for me. Paul Hoskin likes pork pies and pickle. Okay. Richie Doe, I should have a healthy one. Have you got an air fryer? No, I haven't. I bung everything in. Yeah, I put my fruit in the in the blender. And what my particular favorite, I like grapefruit. So although Co-op don't sell grapefruits, you have to go other places. But lemons, orange, strawberries, mix them all together. Absolutely beautiful. That's my favorite. Tandra, Eddie, have you got a secret lady cooking it? No, I wouldn't trust anyone else with my food. I'm cooking it myself. My chicken, the chicken and the roast potatoes are in the oven now. They're on like a nice slow roast. So by about 10:30, it should be nice. Well, 10:30, I'll be able to do. I'll probably do a tin of peas, but bung those in the microwave. Some nice Bisto gravy. Throw a few mushrooms in there along the way. Lovely stuff. Oh, can't wait. I can't wait. Sean Harris, gammon or turkey roast, then it now it's chicken. Martin Ryder, clean and sober is me having a shower and driving down to the off license. Okay, fair enough. David Eisenberg, look like enjoy your chicken. Oh, I will. I will. Have some lovely roast dinners. Those roast potatoes, they're the frozen roast potatoes. But if you cook them, if you cook them on, on a tray with the chicken, cook them slowly. The juice from the chicken, softens them up, and they're absolutely beautiful. They are. David Eisenberg, lookalike. Press the thumbs up, everyone. Okay, I'll put that on the screen. There we go. Yeah, press the thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up, everyone. I feel not good because I know the internet is absolute crap. This time next week, I'll be bigger, brighter, and better than ever. The proper. I'm just hoping that it all goes well without any hiccups. You know what I mean? Oh, Tulip. Oh, Buddy says, how's the exercise regime going? Lousy. Oh, Tulip, drink a Polish beer, throw a Polish karate kicking people. We're going to beat me up because I allowed 1 hour rock music. Okay. Drink a Polish beer. The Polish karate kicking people. You want to beat me up because I had 1 hour loud rock music. Okay. Enjoy your beer, mate. Boxing 14, World War III depends on the outcome of the US election. That's interesting. Martin Ryder, Felicity Shagwell, and Ivana Humpala. Okay. Are they Trump's misses, are they? Bilbo Kelso, just had a look. Benidorm is 22 at the moment. Well, if it's at the moment, it's probably about 11 o'clock in the evening there. So that's warm, isn't it? Sean Harris, Hamburg or Amsterdam? Amsterdam, definitely. Amsterdam is probably a more expensive place, but it's a much cleaner and much more straightforward place. It's altogether a more likable place. Hamburg's a good city. There's a lot of good things about Hamburg. Herbertstrasse, that's pretty good. That one. But I just felt that Amsterdam was the better setup altogether. So Amsterdam, definitely, absolutely. You're more likely to get ripped off in Hamburg than you are in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is actually quite straightforward. I mean, unless you really act like a dickhead and you want to go hunting for ladies and all this kind of stuff, Amsterdam's actually quite straightforward. But Hamburg, you're more likely to get ripped off there, to be honest with you. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, I always play with the cucumber before I eat it. Only 79 pence. Do you know, there's some things I buy and I think, that's healthy, and I never get around to eating them. I bought a cucumber over a week ago, never took it out of the wrapper, and bloody threw it away yesterday. Never again. Hard tulip, okay. I'm not even going to put that on the screen. Hard tulip. I had 2 sex massages. What a mess. Okay. Let's see. Damon, a sensible comment. Damon, just pulled out the shepherd's pie out of the oven and going to split it with my dog. Half. We always eat. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? You're not the first person to heard that. I have met someone, with only, I think it was a Doberman. And I said, what do you feed me? He's the same as me. He has dinners whatever he eats as well. That sounds really that's it's wonderful the way animals bond with humans. I'd love that. To sit there and have a nice dinner, and half for you, half for me. Sounds lovely though. The real Dutch Farangas here. Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Ian Barron must admit it. I can't imagine eating a roast dinner before bed. How do you do it? Well, my sleeping pattern is all over the place now. And I eat when I'm hungry. I know people say that there's not no sensible thing to do. But don't forget, you can have another snack. I like toast. You can have things on toast and all that. But when you add up all the calories, there's not much difference in that and a roast dinner. I just fancy a roast dinner, really. And I probably won't go straight to bed afterwards. I'll probably be up for another couple of hours anyway. But, well, I'm going to enjoy it. Sean Harris, Hang 'em High or Pale Rider. Neither of those are the best of Clint's movies, but both of them are good movies and they are worth seeing again. Hang 'em High was it was accused of being a copy of a spaghetti western because that was the first western Clint made when he returned to America in the 60s after the spaghetti western era. But it's nothing of the sort. It's actually a more old style western, only a lot tougher. And Pale Rider, wonderful. Well, both of them are not the best Clint westerns, but they're both well worth a look. Let's see. Legan, hi Eddie. I was just looking at some photos of Maddie Smith, you dirty bastard, on a site that had tons of pics. They had vid caps of some nude scenes, but I don't think she ever posed outright nude. Well, not far off it. Enough. I don't think it was. I don't think she ever done like a full. I don't think she done a Playboy centerfold or any of that kind of stuff. But maybe the reason she didn't do that is because she actually got a lot of work. She was actually a very, very popular actress. She wasn't, she was in a lot of things. She had a lot of bit parts. She was always like the bit part actors, never the star. But you can see a beautiful, delightful assets in the film version of Up Pompeii. In The Vampire Lovers, when she's in a lovely, delightful scene with Ingrid Pitt. Oh, God almighty, wonderful. And in a few other movies. So, but I don't think I don't think she ever, posed outright nude for any of those things. But if you do hear of it, then let me know. Okay. See, Freddie, just get on with it. Late Queen Elizabeth II, okay? Boxing 14, bird flu, financial collapse, potential famine. Let's add those to the list of things that could be just as worse as World War III. We're all doomed. Seaside Freddie, County Man. Mark Olive, good evening, Mark. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Hope all's well in Minnesota. Let's see. Let me see now. Let me see. What's this? Ian Bounty says, apparently from about now, there are more Indians in the world than Chinese or any other nationality. I heard that in India, the population of India, and bearing in mind, India, even though it's a massive country, is much smaller than China. Their population overtook China a long time ago. As long as they're happy and they stay healthy, the Indians and the Chinese, they're all good people. They're all good people. And who doesn't love an Indian curry or a Chinese chow mein? Good for them anyway. Good for them. Nothing against them. Paul Loskin, will the banks fail? I'd rather, I don't know, fail. I just prefer if you tell the truth for once. Tulip got a Thai girlfriend. Good for you. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Martin Ryder. Lewis Collins was in 10 para-territorial army. I know and that's why after he became a popular actor, or during the time when he was a popular actor, he because after The Professionals, I think he went in the Territorial Army then, and I think he actually wanted to go into the SAS, but I think that he refused it because of his celebrity status. But good credit to him anyway. But I mean, he could have been a big star, but I think he was set to be a big star. But I think really he just didn't get the film parts that he was hoping for. He was in Who Dares Wins and a few other action movies, but they were all sort of B movies. And he just faded away, didn't he, really? It's a pity that, because he had a lot of potential. Simon has, even that he died a few years back, Lewis Collins. Yeah, he did. He actually lived until he was 67, but yeah, he died, didn't he? He ended up in, having bit parts in plays and little obscure TV series. Martin Ryder. Eddie, I need therapy. I'm having impure thoughts of Francis Tophill on Gardener's Wells. Well, I might have impure thoughts. I've actually knew that. I've heard of Gardener's Wells. I haven't actually heard of Francis Tophill. I'll have to check that one out. Let me see now. Tulip likes box fizz. Yeah, cool, yeah. Sean Harris, The Brides of Countet, a beautiful bevy of lovely ladies. Should be a title movie or vinyl album. Maybe. I think I'd enjoy that. I think I'd be over that. If you know of a good producer who will set that up for me, then where I am. How's it get in touch with me? Barney from EastEnders, would you shag a hairy vampire, Diane Abbott? No, definitely not. Definitely bloody not. Let's see. Let's see. What's this one? Ian Bound, Ed, if you had fangs in a cloak, whose blood would you like to drink first? Oh, Ingrid Pitt. I know she's gone, but vampires can be brought back to life. Ingrid Pitt, Madeline Smith, they're my type of women. There's a movie. There's a movie called A Female Vampire. It also went under the name of Bare-Breasted Countess. It was an ex-certificate movie in the 1970s, but it was a vampire. But she was the hairiest vampire you've ever seen. It was startling full front. It was an Italian, but she was actually a Spanish girl. But it had the most startling full frontal scenes you've ever seen, and basically, Jesus Christ, I mean, what womanly bit was the start of the show. Jesus Christ Almighty! I mean, it was the most full frontalist vampire movie I think I've ever seen. Check it out. Sean Young. Oh, I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that one. Let's see. She said, Freddie, exercise works for me. Cut the alcohol. I have cut the alcohol out. Inbound, 8 hours sleep for me every night. Absolutely. I sleep because I work sort of flexible hours, or I'm kind of flexible. I just sleep in it. I'd say when I sleep after I have a big meal. That's when I sleep. Sean Harris. Sure matters. Ed, have you ever been to one of those caravan sites where they have a clubhouse with expensive beer and camping? I've never actually been to one. Well, I think I went as a kid, but I've never actually been to one. Oh no, I have. I have been to one. I did go to one on Halen Island once. Yeah, they're good fun. I think what they have. They have a lot of those one-hit wonder acts. You know those groups or artists who had a one-hit wonder about 20 years ago, and you wonder whatever happened to them, and they turn up on this bloody holiday camp. The ones who sang "Belly, Don't Be a Hero." Remember that? Belly, don't be a hero. I've seen them on there somewhere. Mark Ollig. I drink coffee all the time. It has no negative effects, and it does not keep me awake or make me edgy. It's like drinking beer all night and remaining sober. Well, I was always a coffee holic. I mean, I used to drink gallons of coffee, but I couldn't sleep well at night. It had that effect on me. But I don't drink coffee at night time. Even now that I've given up the beer, I'm still not drinking coffee. I have a couple of cups of hot chocolate anyway. Let's see this one here. Mark, I would Google Steady Eddie and a photo of Christopher Widows, an Australian comedian pops. Yeah, I have heard of him. Somebody mentioned to me, you copying the name of that. No, I'm not copying anyone's. But people called me Steady Eddie years and years ago in workplaces and whatever. Maybe because I'm a steady character. But yeah, I do know of the guy. I've never actually watched him, but I actually do know of the Australian comedian you mean. Let's see. Okay, let me just see this. Robster, heard of the teacher at an all-girls school that lost their job because she said hello, girls, to the class. I wanted 9 cents if I was a girl. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to, Mark, I'll have cream in my coffee. I'll have to try that sometime. I'm sorry, but I've fallen miles and miles and miles and miles behind in the chat. Miles and miles and miles behind in the chat. A real apologies. It's good that, we can still keep going, even though the internet is absolute crap. Peter Capshaw. Let's see. Peter Capshaw. Okay, Peter Capshaw. Okay, thank you for that super chat. $27.99 Canadian dollars. That's very, very kind of you, Peter. Currently vacationing, beautiful Key West. Oh, that looks lovely. Eddie would love it here. Great Caribbean vibe, USA style. Yeah, that chap you were mentioning, Action Kid, who does all these walk around videos. I think he's done one on that one. I will have to watch that. It looks lovely. I think I'd love it there. I'd love it there. Is it true that alligators pop out of nowhere? I think that'd be quite fun. But yeah, I've heard that is a lovely, lovely part of the world. Okay, so thank you for that super chat, my friend. Really appreciate that. I'll just nip back a moment. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, I'll just do some of this. Sean Harris, talking of woke, I was watching out the window that some guys taking the neighbour's gate. I was going to say something, but I thought they might take offence. Oh, very, very good. Very, very good. Mr. Cabbage soup for breakfast, got to have greens. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good to me. That's one thing I like. I like vegetables and greens, really. I should have more of them. Let's see. Ian Baum, protesting is a great thing to be able to do, but today's protesters don't seem to know where or how to protest. I think it's people, people just don't like. I think people have had it. Now, I'm not saying climate change, all that kind of stuff is shouldn't be tested about. Everyone's got a right to opinion, but it's the people who are involved in this sort of thing. Greta Thunberg. I mean, I think she probably demoralized a lot of it. I mean, who's going to listen to a snot-nosed kid if that's the best they've got? Up to now, you've got a snot-nosed kid who's protesting about climate change. You got some fella who's copying the Tango advert on a snooker table. If that's the best they've got, no wonder they don't get too much public support. Edward, you've snagged bound, snug Diane Abbott. No, I wouldn't. I probably did, but I wouldn't know. Definitely not. Kippo Macmax, the worst country I've ever visited is Pakistan. Never ever go there. It's not hell, but you can see it from there. Okay, never made it to pack it down. Nick Ross, nice to hear from you, Nick Ross. Hey Eddie, the girls in Sudan are stunning. Yeah, yeah. I'm such a bit vulgar that. I like the first bit of what you said, but yet I do know there are some lovely, girls in Sudan. One of those news raiders, is her name Zenab Badawi or whatever it is? She's actually Sudanese. Her ancestry is Sudanese, I do believe. I don't know if she's on Sky TV or one of those. Oh yeah, some lovely, lovely women there. Lovely women. But Boxing 14. Once you got the internet, so you must watch Nobody. Excellent movie. Well, to be honest with you, yeah, I miss Netflix, and I can't watch any of those because obviously they're on my internet. So it'd be nice to see what's on there again. Let me see now. Boxing 14. Have you seen the movie called Hair? Joanne Phoenix plays an accident. No, I've missed. I've sort of missed a lot of the stuff that's going on. Nick Ross, have you tried BitChute yet? It's BitChute yet. I mean, the thing is, I mean, this is YouTube, and I know a lot of people criticize YouTube because you can't show too many girls in bikinis and all this kind of stuff. BitChute is being recommended. You can show the stuff on BitChute that you can't show on YouTube. The fact is, nobody watches BitChute. I mean, if I put my videos on there, they'd probably get half a dozen views. It's same as that other thing, Rumble. People are going on Rumble, but I've heard that if you make a video and then upload it to Rumble, that becomes their video. As far as I know, you don't own it anymore. They own it. Well, I wouldn't like the idea of that. I mean, YouTube is like, it's the devil you know what I mean? Frank travels England's hairy pet. Okay. And she was hairy. There is evidence of that. Ian Bowden. Getting nothing. Suspenders or simple hold-up said. Which you prefer? Can't beat a glimpse of stocking top. I love the suspender straps and see them. I'm not into all of that. I like, pure, natural, nice, shapely female body. Nice. None of all that kinky stuff. I'm not into all that kinky stuff, to be honest with you. Why do I feel okay? We're getting a bit smutty now, aren't we? Is this true? Is this true? GB is like the Indians have taken over the Albanians crossing the channel in rubber boats. so make it sound like it's a make it sound like it's a boat race. That'd be funny when they're a boat race across the channel in dinghies. The Albanians saying, get a move on, the Indians are catching us up. Oh, there they go, there's the bastards. They were there before we get there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did they get a trophy at the end of it, Judy? Or something? Let's see. Yeah, but boxing 14. Come on, Ed, tell us your best chatter plans. I've made my own chatter plans, and but some of them are banal. Some of them I wouldn't dream. I wouldn't dream. I wouldn't. I wouldn't dream of repeating now. I wouldn't. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus Christ. I wouldn't repeat some of them right now. Some of the cleaner ones. In the olden days, I'd say to a girl, I can tell you're a classy girl. You know how to spell your tattoos right. Well, it was a joke then, but it's not a joke anymore. I mean, they really, really have. They really, really have got. They really, really have got tattoos. Bottle baby, any with time's back. What about any big questions to see? There is one coming up in a minute. There is, okay. I'm just gonna put squeaky door time. Okay, squeaky door time. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Oh my God, that roast dinner. Oh, that roast dinner looking bloody good. It really, really is looking good. There we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's just get. Yeah, Sandra, how do you make a tissue dance? Put a little bit. Oh, put a little boogie in it. Nice. My wife, who was getting a vodka. Take your time, Ed. I'll just read a couple of these. Then we'll do a big question. We've all found something to talk. Michael Janaeus, Greta Thunberg is a problem-informed child. While politicians sucking up to a oh, Jesus Christ, he's bloody annoying. I know that. I wouldn't listen to any snot-nosed kid. I wouldn't. I mean, what the hell would she know? Gaz77 is sitting at a bar and drinks he's got no intention of paying for. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Hard Tulip, thank you, my friend. Super sticker, 99 pence. That's very, very kind of you, mate. Thank you. And I hope all's well. And it's nice talking to you on Facebook as well, by the way. Let's see. Mark Oleg, roast is what's for dinner. Okay. It may be getting on a bit, but you're never too late for a roast dinner. Anyway, I'm just going to put something on the screen here. I'm going to do. Okay, delete that one there. Okay, delete that one there. And we have got a big question, okay. We have got a big question, right? Okay, the question is, I'll put it this way. Okay, okay, okay. So this isn't a topical question. This is just something I thought of the other day. I was reading a post from on Facebook from my local community, and basically what it is, some woman expressed their disgust at people in general, because she said there was a man who was lying on the floor, unconscious in the daytime, and he looked like he was drunk, but he looked like he may have had problems and he needed to get to the hospital because he was lying on the ground. And she was disgusted by people who just walk on by. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved. And she was also disgusted because across the road there was a taxi rank, and she thought one of those taxi drivers should have come over and said, look, mate, get in my taxi. I'll take you to the hospital and all that. She was disgusted at people in general. That nobody was helping this man who was on the ground. And it reminds me a couple of times when I've been a bystander or a driver or a pedestrian, and I've got involved, right? I've witnessed something that I haven't liked, like a man duffing up a woman, and now some people say, so the question is, when you see something you don't like, some kind of injustice, would you get involved? Or have you ever got involved? Let's see, is that coming up on the screen? So that's the question. Have you ever got involved? I mean, with regards, there's a thing that says that if ever you see a domestic going on, a man is assaulting a woman who's obviously her partner, and he's assaulting her in the street, a lot of people say, don't get involved. Because if you get involved, not only will the man turn on you, but the woman will turn on you as well. Now, a lot of people will tell you that. And a couple of times I've got involved, but let's hear what you've got to say anyway. Have you ever got involved in anything that you don't like? Let's see. Gaz 770 doesn't pay for anything. I'll just put this on the screen. Fair enough. There's hundreds of people in the chat. Gaz said, I called my energy company up yet last Wednesday just before I leave for Portugal to tell them I ain't paying them anything day one. Well, $6.5 told me I ain't getting anything. Okay, and but you'll send them a postcard, of course. Okay, fair enough. Why are why fools? Why are why fools? Okay, never get involved. Okay, why are why fools? I mean, the thing is, this one was ranting and raving. She was disgusted at people. There should have been someone to help them. But if you see someone lying there, what would you assume? Well, he's a bloody drunk. It serves him right. Or would you do something about it? But I mean, as for the taxi drivers, well, they're out to make a living. They're not bloody guardian angels. Now, if they've come out, taxi drivers got a whopping amount of bills to pay, a massive amount of bills to pay. Make no mistake about it. I mean, if they was to put this drunk in the car, can he pay the taxi fare? If they take him to hospital, they're going to lose money with the time it takes. I mean, taxi drivers tend not to get involved. And to be honest with you, I don't actually blame them. Why fuel says never get involved. My life is more important than theirs. Sorry, but I am not no hero. If I pass someone who I really believe was in genuine distress, or if I seen something really bad happening, I would have to get involved. I don't think I could just walk on, but I'd have to do something. But you don't know the circumstances. I mean, if you see a guy, and a bunch of guys, kicking 7 bells out of a guy on the ground, that's truly terrible. But for all you know, I mean, that guy may be the villain of the piece. He may have harmed their family in some so you just don't know. You do not know the circumstances within the seconds that it takes to observe what's going on. I mean, a taxi driver told me once, never be a witness. Never be a witness to anything, because you'll come off worse. You will just come off worse. Just keep driving on. Bottle Baby says, I used to think of playing the part of a do-good, but lately I think to myself, just forget it. Fair enough, fair enough. The real just for that, I got involved at the bar in town, playing English automatics. I forgot which one it was. Okay. Kippo Macmax. Kippo Macmax. Okay. It depends on the situation. If I saw a child being abused, I would jump. Yeah. Okay. That's understandable, because there's no way that a child can be the villain. I understand what you're saying there. I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. Sean Harris. I think you would have to weigh up what was happening, perhaps intervene. Trust your gut. Okay, fair enough. But that you must have heard that. That is the most common thing. If you see a guy assaulting a woman and they're shouting at each other, they're having a domestic, and people will often say, I've heard it many times, if you get involved, not only will he get aggressive, but she'll turn on you as well. I've heard of people to whom that has actually happened. Ian Bowden, saying what I said, it does depend on the certain situations at the time. You got to weigh up the situation. Why Whitefields, let the cops sort it out. It's their job. Well, they're bloody useless for the most part. They'll experience of that. It's their job. Steve Goodall, Fernando Subvariant. Last Friday. Oh, that's dreadful. David Heisenberg. David Heisenberg, look-alike, Russell. I have got involved before, but you're not thankful it can make things worse. Okay, yeah. I know Casey. I know a guy who was a really, really good guy, and he's seen an aggressive young man, belting his girlfriend around, and the guy where this guy went over and said, "Hey, stop that! You shouldn't be doing that." And the bloody guy, he landed one on him, punched him, knocked him out. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, is it really worth it? Paul Oscar, it takes bravery to get involved. Maybe it takes stupidity as well. Ian Bowden, I've uttered admiration to others brave enough to risk their own life to help a stranger. If I seen something that I knew that was totally unjust, then I would probably risk my own life for it. But I've been around in my time. I've seen what life's all about, and it's not always as straightforward as that. You don't know what this situation is, within the seconds that you observe it. You really, really don't know what seconds. Gas77 says he hasn't paid his energy company for 8 months now, and that will continue. Okay. Tandra, I was in a nightclub once, standing near the bar next to me. I got a pint of beer all down one side. A woman threw it at a man. He moved out the way and it got me. I went mad and got thrown out too. Oh, Jesus Christ Almighty! And I know this is the thing in a nightclub. I mean, in a nightclub, everyone bloody gets involved because it ends up like a barroom brawl. You knock into other people, and there's all kinds of people getting involved. That sounds absolutely awful. I mean, women can be bloody terrible. I remember a nightclub that I went to, and there was always fights between women. Funnily enough, oh God Almighty. Nick Ross says, Nick Ross says, I'm like you, Ed. I always go to another's aid, but no bar fights. Absolutely, absolutely. I go to another person's but you've got to be selfish, okay? It's no point being a knight in shining armor. You've got to think of yourself as well. I mean, the thing is, that's what they tell you. If you're you do first aid at a road accident anyway. The very, very first thing, is whatever's happened there to make damn sure that it doesn't happen to you as well, because then you're no good to anyone. Why are white fools? Let's see. Why are white fools? Why get involved in other people's stress when you get involved when they're behind closed doors? Absolutely. I mean, you hear terrible reports of domestic violence and all that, and it's truly terrible. I've heard some awful, but you don't always know the circumstances. I mean, I know this is not a nice thing to say, but when a woman is the victim of terrible domestic violence, the question you always ask: why did she go with that fella in the first place? Did she go with that fella because some women are attracted to aggressive men? Is that the reason that she went with him in the first place? I know that sounds like a terrible thing, and that's certainly not the case. Of all, but you've always got to consider something like that. What did she go with him for in the first bloody place? Mr. baked a loaf French bread using a third of recipe. Okay, okay, good for you. Good for you. Mark Holland. Mark Holland. I found a young girl being hit by some guy. Told him to stop it. He told me to go to hell. Girl was crying, said, please help me. Pulled it away, fought the guy. Police came and arrested. Well, that's good. That's good, Mark. That is good. And I'm glad that came to the right conclusion. It's not always as simple as that, but full credit to you, for getting in there anyway. So well done. The real judge for rank. It's strange. Let's say it's strange. It's strange to see someone in a bar stool suddenly get smacked with a bottle out of nowhere. I see some bloody terrible stuff in these. Mark Holly, I can't stand by seeing a helpless being abused. I know I'd feel the same way. It depends on the circumstance, but you've got to understand the situation. If it was a young girl, I mean, I'd be tempted to get in there and help her. But if it's a gobby drunken woman, I think it's a hell with it. Paul Hoskins. At the time, I wanted to fight me once in Thailand. I was too drunk to care. My temporary girlfriend sorted it out. Good for her anyway. Why white fuel says don't be a white knight. Okay. Let's see. Kippo Macmax. In the USA, if you assault an intruder, you're okay. But in the UK, you would get charged. I know. Bloody Tony Martin went to prison, didn't he? For defending his own home. Bloody terrible. Gar 77, just get a bat out. That was well, why did he sell them in Asda? Did you neck one from Asda, did you? Harry Holt. Saw a woman strangling her. Oh, Jesus, saw a woman strangling her. Yeah. I intervened, and that's what she was doing. I asked the young girl if she was okay, and she said, yeah. I felt bad, so I knew that girl would be worse off. Jesus, if she was strangling a child, I think, you should have reported that to the authorities. Not just intervene, you should have reported that to the authorities. Sean Harris. My car was hit while parked overnight. I went to the police station to report it. They wanted me to produce all my documents and made me feel like I was to blame. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds like the typical British police. Andrew Hammonds, any man who abuses a woman in public is a low-life scum and deserves a good slap. There's no excuse. Okay, fair enough. Ian Bowden, I don't miss those. What are you? What are you saying, Paul Hoskin? What? What is Paul Hoskin saying? If you put a cucumber in your trousers, what does that make you look harder? Does it? You know, don't mess with me. I've got a cucumber in my trousers. Jesus, I love you, Paul. Ian Brown, I don't miss those young days of going to crowded venues full of young testosterone. I know you mean. Miss Daddy, glad you held that. Okay. Ian Barron, loads of women and girls go for thugs. I know some women. You know, I've been around women. There are some women who like to see men fight. Some women are troublemakers. They like to cause. I've met you know, a girl who says, you know, I was knocked around by this fella and that fella, and I've thought to myself, I know your nature. I know your nature. You deliberately go with aggressive fellas. You like to cause fights between fellas. You know, not all women are angels. You know what I mean? Mark, I was lucky the guy didn't have a knife or a gun. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Steve goes up hitting me off. Nick Ross, have a girlfriend. Yeah, but you know, Nick Ross, have a girlfriend like mine, 6'2", all muscle and 18 years black belt kickboxer. Don't sounds like a good girlfriend to have. You save money on a bodyguard, wouldn't you? Good for you, mate. Anyway. David Eisenberg, a girlfriend went to the toilet a year ago, and then another one came up to me, bad mouthing her, but she did not know the girl came back from the toilet, stood behind, and I said to her, "Is that right?" Okay. London Cab Thailand. Okay, London Cab Thailand. He's a taxi driver. Never be a witness, wise words, unless a child is involved. Okay, fair enough. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because you know, a taxi driver always comes off worse. They don't bloody care. There's some people who see a taxi as a getaway vehicle. They're having a bloody big fight, and they think they want to jump into a taxi and use that as a bloody getaway vehicle. And the next thing, the assailant jumps on the bonnet of the car, and you know, the taxi driver. He's a guy who's he's a guy who just wants to make a living. That's all he wants to do, make an honest living. So why should he get involved? Nick Ross, he plays rugby for the All Blacks girls team. His name isn't Lisa Dale by any chance, is it? Ian Bowden, Mark Ollie, you're a braver man than me. Good on you. Yeah, good for Mark. Anyway, good for Mark. Mark for having a go. Let's see. Okay. David Eisenberg, yeah, from the last message, he was standing behind listening. Yeah, Mark Alex. Mark, is that a cucumber in your trousers, or are you just pleased to see me? Oh my God. Kippo Max. If you were in bed and had a bagel downstairs, what would you do? I'd go around and whack the bloody bastard over the head with something, and I wouldn't care. Because burglary is one of the worst crimes. Burglary should be a hanging offence. Burglary is one of the worst crimes anyone can ever commit. They deserve all they get. Burglars deserve to be absolutely evil bloody people. Whack them over their head, whatever. London Cab Thailand. They will. Look, yeah, London Cab Thailand. You know, this guy's a taxi driver. He knows what he's talking about. They will turn on you as the booze. I find the women are worse than the men. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I know what you mean. I mean, I was in, it's going to point a little bit, but I was in a little late night restaurant in Chinookville in Cambodia once, and I got to know it was open all night, and I got to know the young man who was the young Cambodian man who was running the restaurant, and the waitresses, and they were working through the night, and they were really, really nice, hard working people. And I went in there one night, and I went in there one night, and there were these two gobby English women, mouthy, drunken, gobby English women. And he was the young man who was running the restaurant. He was involved in an altercation because they were giving him loads of abuse, and he was, and to his credit, he was giving them abuse back. You don't talk to me like that. You don't talk to me. And one of these women said to me, "I know your boss. I'm gonna complain about you tomorrow. I'm gonna complain about you tomorrow." And these women started mouthing, mouthing off left, right, and centre. And I said to the young man, I said, if they complain about you tomorrow, then just call on me, and I'll side with you. If your boss says what really happened, I'll say this young man is a victim. It's these gobby, pissed up, mouthy, bloody English women. They're the ones to blame. Yeah, because I don't like drunken, mouthy. And you are quite right, London Cab, Thailand. You are quite right. Women can be worse than the fellas. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Damien, the top page I do in my life is cruelty to animals and thieves. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. Cruelty to animals, thieves, and liars. I mean, I can't stand bloody liars either, but yeah, you're quite right, mate. Anyway, well said, Damon. I love animals, absolutely love animals. I mean, Jesus, there was that footballer, wasn't there, who swung his bloody cat around by the tail. What an evil bastard. I love animals. Sean Harris. I was in Portsmouth one night. Two girls ended up in a brawl. One put a stiletto heel in the other girls. Girls can be vicious. Girls can be bastards. I've seen it. I know. I've heard stuff like that going on. Jesus Christ Almighty. David Heisenberg, look, don't forget your chicken eggs. You do not burn it. It's going okay. I think it's going okay. It'll be all right. Tamsa, you have to watch out. There was a scam not long ago. In early hours, a woman screaming, needing help. It was just to get you to open the door. Yeah, I know. I've heard all about that, and it's organised. She's probably got a shady boyfriend waiting to enter. And these kind of women, they do it on the houses of vulnerable people, like a little old lady who lives alone. I mean, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these people they're just scumbags to behave like that. Let's see. Where are we? Worst thing is when you pay the bar fine and find out she has a fishy one. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Okay. Ed ventures around the world. I once chased a looter through Bristol town centre. I finally caught up with him after 10 minutes of chase. They managed to buy a 4K TV for the £5. Good for you, man. That sounds like a bargain. Let's see. Ian Brown, Ed, you've given up on probably the biggest culprit behind these violent situations, alcohol and/or any other. Oh yeah, absolutely alcohol. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some people who are nice people. Once you get the drink down, it's the old Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. I've never been like that. Alcohol makes me sleep and and it makes me relax. But I've never turned violent because of alcohol. I've never ever been like that. Nick Ross, I still have the scars from a brawl in the Therme in Sukhumvit nearly 30 years ago. Okay. Let me see now. Ian Bowden, I'm drinking tonight, and so far I've been for a week. twice and now need a third. Do you go to a little less now during your lives? I do. I find myself paying less simply because probably because I'm not drinking the alcohol so much. It's probably that's probably the case. Okay, so I'm going to finish this now because we've but you get the idea. Let me just say my own experience of getting involved. What I've been involved in a serious domestic incident by accident. What one of them was by accident, but I got involved and I regretted getting involved. I didn't get involved deliberately. I found myself in the middle of a very violent domestic, and I just wanted to get the hell out of there because it turns out that both the fella and his missus had both done an armed robbery the previous week, and they were both a couple of villains. And the other getting involved, I stopped. I stopped when I seen a road accident, and I stopped when I seen a road accident, and it could have lost. These pedestrians could easily have been killed in this road accident. People could have been killed. So I stopped showing concern, and I ended up being accused of being involved in it by some rather opportunistic people. So on 2 occasions, I've been involved in a violent or dreadful situation, and you know what? Both times I've regretted it. Both times I've regretted getting involved. You know what I mean? So says a lot for people, doesn't it? Anyway, I mean, if I seen a road accident, I'd be tempted not to stop. I'd say, it wasn't a nice experience last time, and the police were bloody turned out to be villains. All as they wanted was a result, and they didn't get one from me because I wasn't involved in anything. But it doesn't always pay to get. But I admire like Mark Hollick who got involved. I mean, that's really brave and very honourable of you, Mark. If I seen a young girl or a child being hurt, I would get involved. I would have to get involved. I would. To hell with the consequence. I would have to. But you've got to be realistic, I mean, if I seen a mouthy woman, having an argument with a fella, I'd bloody walk on by. Anyway. Okay, so thank you to everyone. Listen. Thanks to everyone for showing patience over the last month. If you're showing patience over the last month with this crap internet, this time next week, hopefully my best internet will be along and it'll be bigger and better, brighter and better than ever. Word for from Damon. Ed, I've always been tooled up in my house just in case I have welcome an uninvited visitor in the night. Good for you, mate. Good for you. You whacked the bastards over there. Burglary is an evil crime, and they deserve them. All the bloody get. We should all take a leaf out of Tony Martin's book. Tanda, okay. Thank you, Tanda. Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from everybody tonight. Thanks for your patience once again. I think I'll give Thursday's stream a bit of a miss, but I'll probably be back on Saturday or whatever with a pop-up stream. In the meantime, have a great week, ever. Oh, I've got a super chat. Damon, okay, thank you for that super chat, Damon. That's very kind of you. Thank you, for the great stream and putting a smile on my face. Tip top. So that is brilliant. I mean, the thing is, when even the times with this awful internet situation, it's nice that people are still appreciating these streams anyway. So thanks for that, Damon. That's very kind of you, mate. Anyway, really kind. David Eisenberg, enjoy your chicken dinner. Yeah, that's coming up soon. My chicken dinner is coming up very soon. I've got mushrooms with it. I got a nice soft roast potatoes, and I'm going to get stuck into that. It doesn't matter that it's late at night because I always fall asleep after a big meal anyway. Okay, thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for that super chat, Damon and others. Really appreciate that. And I'll probably see you at the weekend. Have a great week, guys.